Social media was started as a way to connect with friends and share funny cat videos, has grown into one of the most powerful forces, shaping how we think, act, and even vote. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok allow us to share ideas and information instantly. But as we scroll, like, and share, have we stopped to think about what's really happening behind the screen? Today's society feels more divided than ever. Politics have become increasingly polarized, and social media is often blamed as the culprit. But how does it happen? Why do social media platforms contribute to this divide? To answer these questions, we need to look at three key media effects theories: agenda setting, selective exposure, and echo chambers. This video will explain these concepts, use real-world examples, and explore what this means for the future of our society. To understand social media's role in political polarization today, we first need to look at where it all began. The early 2000s brought a revolution in communication. Platforms like MySpace and Facebook allowed users to connect with friends, share photos, and express themselves like never before. By 2006, Twitter introduced short-form posts, just 140 characters to broadcast your thoughts to the world. Suddenly, anyone with an internet connection could have a voice. YouTube followed, creating a space for content creation where creators could share everything from comedy to their own political commentaries. Social media was an exciting, empowering, and full of potential. News stories at this time celebrated its promise. People could share ideas, connect with others across the globe, and even organize movements. The 2011 Arab Spring was a perfect example. Protesters in the Middle East used Twitter and Facebook to coordinate demonstrations, showing how powerful these platforms could be for positive change. But as social media grew, so did its reach. Facebook went from a college networking site to a global empire with billions of users. Instagram transformed how we share our lives visually, and TikTok exploded as a platform for short, viral videos. Along the way, social media changed from being just a tool for communication to a tool of influence. Algorithms became smarter, designed to keep us online longer. News feeds turned into curated echo chambers, and as social media replaced traditional media as our primary source of news, it began to shape not just what we see, but how we think. This shift was subtle, but its effects were profound. Social media became more than entertainment. It became a powerful driver for public opinion. Agenda setting theory tells us that the media doesn't tell us what to think, but it does tell us what to think about. Social media platforms use algorithms to prioritize content. These algorithms determine what's trending, what you see first, and even what news articles are pushed to the top. For example, imagine two people log into Facebook. One sees political news about a controversial protest. The other sees videos of a celebrity feud. Neither person chose this content. It was selected for them by algorithms that predict what will grab their attention. The result? Platforms decide which topics dominate public conversations, what trends become what matters. And while that may seem harmless, it means we don't always see the full picture of what's happening in the world. Next is selective exposure. This theory explains how people seek out information that aligns with their existing beliefs. Social media makes this even easier. Algorithms learn what we like, share, and comment on, and they keep showing us similar content. For example, someone who clicks on conservative news stories will see more conservative content. Someone who watches progressive videos will more often see progressive content. Over time, social media becomes an echo of our own beliefs, and opposing viewpoints are filtered out. This is a result of a digital bubble where we only see content we agree with. While that feels comfortable, it deepens the divide between people who see the world differently. Finally, there's the concept of echo chambers. Echo chambers are digital spaces where we hear only the voices that sound like ours. Facebook groups, Reddit threads, and TikTok niches are all examples. These spaces reinforce our opinions and make opposing ideas seem not just wrong, but threatening. In echo chambers, misinformation spreads quickly because it goes unchallenged. For example, during major elections, false stories circulate within partisan groups, spreading to thousands or millions before being corrected, if they ever are. This isn't an accident. Social media is designed to keep us engaged. Outrage and agreement are powerful tools for keeping us scrolling. The 2016 US presidential election was a turning point in understanding the power and dangers of social media. During this election, social media became a tool not just for sharing opinions, but for spreading misinformation. One of the most significant examples was the spread of fake news stories. A fabricated headline like "Pope endorses Donald Trump" was shared over 1 million times, reaching far more people than legitimate news sources. At the time, politically targeted ads were used to exploit people's biases, pushing them farther into their ideological corners. According to a report done by Stanford University, fake news on Facebook outperformed real news and engagement during the final months of the election. Posts with sensational headlines were shared, liked, and commented on because they triggered emotional responses. Facebook later admitted that over 126 million Americans were exposed to content from Russian operatives who used social media to spread divisive and polarizing messages. This case illustrates the dangers of echo chambers and agenda setting. People clicked on stories that confirmed their beliefs, while algorithms amplified those stories, spreading misinformation like wildfire. As a result, the election highlighted how social media can distort perceptions of reality and only deepen political divides. A similar pattern emerged during Brexit, when the United Kingdom voted to leave the European Union in 2016. Social media played a significant role in polarizing public opinion, as groups on both sides, Leave and Remain, use platforms to amplify their messages. Targeted ads fueled division. For instance, pro-Leave campaigns ran emotionally charged ads on Facebook, focusing on immigration and national identity. These ads often use misleading statistics and imagery to stir fear and resentment. Meanwhile, echo chambers ensured that users saw only one side of the argument. Pro-Remain voters were surrounded by content emphasizing economic risks, while pro-Leave voters were fed narratives about taking back control of national sovereignty. As a result, both sides saw their perspectives as the only truth. A 2019 study published in Nature showed that misinformation during Brexit spread 6 times faster in echo chambers than outside of them. Social media became an environment where false claims could thrive, unchecked and unchallenged. Brexit reveals a larger problem. When we only engage in like-minded content, we lose the ability to understand opposing viewpoints. This doesn't just impact elections. It erodes public trust. It makes compromise almost impossible. Social media has become an undeniable part of our lives. It influences what we see, what we care about, and even what we believe. But as we've explored today, its role in driving political polarization is clear. Through agenda setting, algorithms decide what dominates our attention. Through selective exposure, we choose the comfort of like-minded content. And in echo chambers, our own beliefs are amplified until opposing viewpoints feel foreign, or worse, dangerous. But what does this mean? Does that mean social media is inherently bad? Not necessarily. Like any tool, social media can be used for good or for harm. During movements like the Arab Spring, Black Lives Matter, or climate strikes, social media amplified voices fighting for justice and for change. It connected people across countries and cultures to build understanding and drive progress. But at the same time, we must acknowledge its flaws. Algorithms are not neutral. They prioritize what keeps us scrolling, not what makes us feel informed. Misinformation spreads 6 times faster than truth, and polarization thrives when we only hear echoes of our own beliefs.